Rolex earner, 3-time Mercedes earner, advisory council member, my friend, my sister, my coach, my mentor, my personal sponsor. She's the one that introduced me to this industry, helped me get in and started with the industry 25 years ago and stayed friends all through the years. And I've had the privilege, the opportunity, and honor to watch her become an incredible ambassador in the industry, not only for Karat bars, but for the industry in general. With that being said, I get the bestowed honor of graced upon me to introduce my friend, my familia, my sister from Vancouver, British Columbia, Nitsa Nako.
Hello, hello. Wow, thank you so very much, Brian, Alfie, Tony, Sean, the 4 Musketeers. What a pleasure and delight it is always to be on the call. Hey, it's 8 a.m., everybody, 10 past 8 a.m. in Vancouver, where I'm calling from, and I am pumped. I don't know about you, but this is going to be an amazing call. Thank you, gentlemen, for the invite. I'm super excited about the call today.
Awesome. And a lot has to do with the music, right, Nitsa, when you first get to the call?
I need to consult with you on the music. Absolutely.
Good to have you as always. Let's go over to Tony. Tony, you have also a special guest for us today. Would you mind doing the introduction, sir?
Yes. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of knowing this business partner of mine for the past, Andrew, you have to help me out. I think it's about 5 years, 6 years in this industry. More or less about 6 years. And when I got to know him, he was already a professional network marketer. Obviously, he's just become better and better. He's like red wine, like ladies' red wine, always getting better as they go on. But what I always remember of this gentleman, Andrew Eaton, I sometimes he blushes when I say this. He gets red in his face. And I just call him the greatest network marketer connector in this industry, because Andrew has just got the guts. He's not scared of anything. He just goes out and he's such a professional. He works at such a high level of industry, of this leadership in the industry. And you guys will, as you got to work with us, and you'll see and you'll get to know of him, you will remember these words that I say to you guys tonight, that he is, in my opinion, humble opinion, one of the greatest professional network marketer connectors in this industry, because the value and the power that of the people that he knows and that he brings into our field is just amazing. So guys, Andrew Eaton.
Thank you so much, Tony. And you're all right. I'm blushing again. So well done on that. Great to be on the call. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on as a guest. I'm super excited. And Alfie, that music certainly did pump me up. I was dancing here in my office, especially that last song. Funny enough, my neighbors sent me a WhatsApp music with that song on about I don't know, it must have been about 3-4 months ago, Alfie, and they were coming back from a wedding. It must have been about 3 in the morning, and that song was pumping in their car, and they played it for me because they said that song reminded them of me. So ever since then, whenever I hear that song, I think of them, funny enough. So it's great to be on the call. It's an honor to be on the call. It's fantastic to see that we're at 1,000 capacity. It shows that, our communities are plugging in. It's even nicer, although it's tough for them, but it's even better to see that the waiting room out there and people stuck in the waiting room and they can't get in. But luckily it is being recorded. So thanks very much, guys, for having a call. It's an honor, and looking forward to the rest of the call.
Awesome. It's great to see you. Now, I'll let Tony do the honor. Tony, we've had these 2 special guests on here for a specific reason today. And I don't think there's anybody better to pass on the message. Why don't you let the audience know why, or why we have these 2 very special guests on here today?
Well, guys, we are so pumped up of what the event of this past weekend, FreeBay launch. Guys, if you were on that launch, type in 1 in the chat box. I want to see this chat box going ballistic in that. What an amazing FreeBay launch we had over this weekend. So one of the you can see that's going ballistic. So guys, one of the things that they announced is the GoPro, the Eric Worre GoPro event. So for us, it's one of the highlights. It's one of the top events that we are going to be attending. And we as the 4 Musketeers, we couldn't think of anybody better than Nitsa and Andrew to bring us the message of why this GoPro, why Eric Worre is so important in our lives. And you're going to hear their stories. Nitsa's going to share their story. Andrew's going to share their story. So, guys, I don't want to take any time. You guys are important. Tell us why Eric Worre. Tell us why GoPro.
So you want to start? Start, Nitsa.
What I want to say first and foremost, Andrew, anytime I have an opportunity to share a panel with you, it is an absolute honor. So I concur with everything that Tony de Gouveia had to say about Andrew. I have a little story about Andrew Eaton, if I may. And, it was about a year and a few months ago that I met Andrew Eaton for the very first time. And we were in South Africa with a former company, as most of us have transitioned from. And Andrew was new, to the company. And I just remember, observing him. I had a fortunate opportunity of having lunch with Andrew and several of his leaders. And I just thought, wow, he is a really special individual. But let me tell you what happened a little bit after that. Andrew absolutely blew it up. I mean, he blew it up to the point where everywhere you looked, it was, did you hear what Andrew's doing? Did you hear what, the group from South Africa is doing? I mean, this gentleman broke all records in our former company. So, of course, being a leader with a big team, I had a lot of people, asking me constantly, what is Andrew doing? What did he do? How did he do it? How did he do it so quickly? And you know what my answer, Andrew, was? You guys got to understand something. Andrew Eaton has been committed for many, many years to learning the skills, to developing the mindset. He's been committed to his dreams. And that's why he absolutely blew it up. And then I got to learn that you and I have something very, very special in common, that we are products of Eric Worre, Andrew. So it does not surprise me that you absolutely blew it up and broke all records. So I want everybody to hear your story, please, if you would. And then I'm just going to follow it up with a couple of important points. But Andrew, you are proof of why everyone on this call not only needs to be at GoPro, we need to surround ourselves with all the material beforehand. We've got a great promotion right now where we can get all of those courses and the event ticket, but then go out and crush the incentive and bring more people with us. So, Andrew Eaton, everybody. Andrew, share the story kindly, if you will, and I'm going to follow right behind you with a few points of my own too.
So first of all, got me blushing again, but so thanks so much for that compliment, and it's an honor to be on this panel with you. I mean, just what you've achieved as well is unbelievable, and it's I love being in business with you guys because of the professionalism that we have. And the first thing I want to say to everyone on this call is that I love telling stories, as people who work with me know. So I'm going to tell a story, but the reason I'm going to tell the story is because I want people to understand what we're sitting on. And I saw everyone was on, there's a whole lot of people that said, when Tony asked who was on the company call, who was on the launch, a whole lot of ones. Before I tell my story, I just want to make sure that I'm actually speaking to the right audience here, because I'm well aware that some people are just customer type people, and then we've got business builder people that want to use their affiliate opportunity to blow it out the water, which is what I'm really passionate about. If you want to see me get excited, talk to me about the affiliate side. Talk to me about empowering people to take control of their own lives, to change it, because I'm one of the products of network marketing, where an average guy with above average dreams could take this industry, this profession, and completely change their life. So that's why I get passionate. And so I just want to see, before I start talking, if people can just, in the comments box, if you are here on this call today because you want to, you're excited about the network marketing opportunity, the affiliate marketing opportunity that Freebay gives us, please type in one again. I just want to see if I'm talking to the right audience first. All right, fantastic. Lots of ones coming through here, and they're all coming through. Some people are 111, some people are 111,000, 111. That's fantastic. Right. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. When I started my network marketing journey properly in 2011, I was broke. And I was not in a good space. I had a traditional IT business that went under in 2008, so I failed at traditional business. And I went and got myself a job, which almost killed my soul, because I always considered myself an entrepreneur. But during that time, the job, I wasn't happy. We were still broke. My wife was still working full time. We just had a baby. And then in 2011, we found out my little daughter was autistic. And I knew things that had changed, people. And I want to tell you the story because it's important. I know there are a lot of people on this call right now saying, I know things need to change. Things need to change for me. What do I need to do to change? The global economy is down. My job's not paying as much as it used to. I'm not getting by. I need to change. And in 2011, that was my scenario. And so I chose network marketing as my vehicle. And I was clueless. All I had was enthusiasm and a big why. And for the first year or two, that enthusiasm and why carried me through. It was enough for me to fail forward. I shudder and I shiver and I get embarrassed when I see what I used to do. But I guess I did enough of it to somehow get enough people to stick. Okay. But I also left a trail of distraction behind me because I had no idea what to do with the people that I brought on board. And so about halfway through 2012, I realized that if I was going to take this to the level which I needed to give my children full-time mother and father so that both my kids are autistic, that I needed to get better. I needed to learn from the best. And the problem was with the company, let's just say I only joined our previous company last year in March. Prior to that, I was with one company from 2011 to that one. And the problem with that company is there was no network marketing culture in that company. There was no upline that I could look up to. And looking back, that was the biggest blessing in disguise because I realized I had to go out of my environment to go and find the best that I could. And that led me to YouTube and finding people. And that's where I first came across Eric Worre. And I was watching the Eric Worre YouTube clips, etc. And I remember there was a GoPro in 2012. I was too broke to go. And so I didn't go. But I set myself a goal that I wanted to go in 2013. And so in 2013, I was still too broke to go. I was only making about $2,000-$3,000 a month. And to go from South Africa to Vegas, people, is at least, a $4,000 or $5,000 journey. So you can imagine it's a lot. It's for a South African not making a lot of money. That was a big call. But I knew that if I was going to get myself to the next level, I needed to go. I knew. And so my wife and I agreed that we were going to take money out of our mortgage and we were going to buy the air ticket and we would go. And there were 6 of us that went. Now, here's what I want to tell you. If you have heard one of my talks, I think I did a talk at on one of our events where I spoke about the 4 belief systems that need to be in place if you want to make it big in network marketing. 1 is belief in yourself. Personal development is key. 2, belief in the company, the product, and the service. Man, that's why Saturday's event was so important, that we get belief in FreeBay and what we stand for and where we're going. It was vitally important. And so company events are great for that, important. 3, belief in your system. So whatever team you're in, get belief in your system. But I'll tell you, none of that matters unless if you've got a limiting belief in network marketing as a profession. None of that. Okay. And so when I went to GoPro in 2013, there were 6 of us who went. We were all broke. And the reason I tell you the story is because you don't need to go and mortgage your house to get an air ticket to go to GoPro this year. You don't need to make that big a sacrifice. But here's what happened for me when I went to my first GoPro. Let me tell you, there were 3 guys and 3 girls. We stayed in a little suite in a cheap hotel way off the strip. And the boys slept in the one side and the girls slept in the other side. And we ate oats for breakfast, lunch, and supper. I lie. Every now and then we had a pasta. But there was no eating out at the restaurants. There was no going to Starbucks during the break. We didn't have the money. We literally had enough money to get us to GoPro, stay in that hotel, eat oats and pasta, and get home. That was it. But we made it there. And it was a huge sacrifice. And here's what happened to me. I walked into the Bally's Hotel, into my first GoPro, and sitting in that room were about 4,000 people. And it's not a big event, but Eric Worre did something on the first day. And he said, all those people who are earning $10,000, upwards of $10,000 a month stand up. Okay, so and at least 2/3 of the room stood up, and I went around. What? Out of this entire room, there are about 3,000 people in here who are making over $100,000 a year. And I'm going to cut a long story short. He eventually went down. He said, okay, and he said, sit down. And he eventually said, if all those people who are making 7 figures and above, please stand up. And there were still 200 to 300 people in that room standing. And I remember thinking to myself, Andrew, you've been thinking too small. And it was at that event that I realized that my belief is that event where I got my belief in the network marketing profession. You see, up until then, and here's my challenge to everyone on the call, you think you believe in network marketing. You think you've got unwavering belief, but you don't. You don't, and you don't know until you've attended one of these events. You see, I walked out of that event absolutely bulletproof against anyone who told me anything bad about network marketing. Why? Because I saw success around me, and I saw success on the stage. And I learned from the very best of the best of the best. And here's what happened to me. I came back with unwavering belief. And then next year, I took 12 people with me. This time I could afford it. I didn't have to go back into my bond. Why? Because I came back to South Africa with new skills, new belief, and applied it into my business. I would not have been here today if it hadn't been for that GoPro. The next year, I took 18. The next year, I want to tell you something exceptional happened. And if I don't want to take too much more time, but it's so important. The next year, something incredible happened. I was sitting there. I was making about $4,000 or $5,000 a month, which is great. And South Africans will know, if you're making $4,000 or $5,000 a month in network marketing in South Africa, you think you're the bee's knees. All right. Luckily, I'd expanded my thinking to be at GoPro to realize I was still not the bee's knees. But I was sitting there, and there were 18 of my team there. And Eric Worre started promoting the 2016 GoPro. And Eric and Richard Branson was going to be the speaker. And he said, and basically what he said, guys, and this is what I tell you about getting out of your comfort zone. He stood up there and he said, guys, Eric, and by the way, I saw someone here saying, please, ladies in the room, don't just say guys. I do apologize. It's a South African thing. When we say guys, we mean ladies as well. It's just a South African thing. All right. Okay. All right. The South African women's hockey team, you'll hear the captain going, come on, guys. All right. Okay. All right. So I apologize. He stood up and he said, people, if you buy this and this and this, and the VIPs, if you want to be a super VIP, you need to buy a 50-pack, 50 tickets for GoPro. And if you do that, you can stand on stage right now. You committed. Come stand on stage right now. And then guess what's at the next GoPro? You're going to have seats in the front. You're going to have time with Richard Branson. You're going to have your picture taken with Richard Branson. And I thought, jeepers, I don't have. It was $300 a ticket. So I take 50 tickets times $300 and work out what it was, $15,000. I did not have that money. And I remember sitting there like this, and I looked to my left. I looked to my left, and my entire team was watching me. What's our leader going to do? And I don't know what made me do it, but I got up and I stood on stage, and I had no idea how I was going to pay for my 50 tickets and get 50 people there the next year. Sorry, it was 100 tickets. It was $30,000, 100 tickets. Long story short, I made a plan. I started phoning people. By the time I left GoPro that year, we had sold, before we landed back in South Africa, we had sold 70 out of the 100 tickets. See, what it made me do, it made me expand my thinking to grow my business. It served me. All right. Now, no one here needs to go and do what I did. But this is what I will tell you. If you want to build the biggest free eBay business, see, I've gone back to GoPro every single year, 7 years. Every year I climb on a plane. I go Joburg, Dubai, LA, Vegas. Get on my plane, Vegas, LA, Dubai, Joburg. And now I live in Durban, so then I'm still going to go Joburg, Joburg. It's a long flight. And last year from South Africa, the last 3 years, you've taken over 100 people from South Africa. Now, there are a lot of Americans on here. And it's a virtual GoPro this year. So you don't have to leave your house. But here's what I will tell you. If you want to become a 6-figure income earner and you want to speed that process up, it will. See, I know some of you thinking, oh, it's $297 a ticket. Oh, man, that's so much. No, let me tell you something. It will cost you more not going. It will cost you more. The biggest investment you can ever make is in yourself. I'll say it again. The biggest investment you can ever think to make is in yourself. And I'm going to go back to that very quickly before I hand over to Nitsha. In 2013, we took 35,000 Rand out of my bond. I'll never forget that amount because it scared the living bejesus out of me. All right? Our middle-class friends were angry at me for taking my wife's bond. I was still broke. For taking money out of my wife's mortgage. My wife's middle-class friends told her she was crazy to fund her husband's trip to Vegas. They could not understand what investing in oneself is. They did not understand. Middle-class people do not understand the biggest investment you can ever make is in yourself. But you see, we didn't listen to them. And I went anyway. And that 35,000 Rand, that $3,000, $3,000 has made me millions. It's made me well over $1 million. And all I'm saying to you is it's not a $3,000 or a $2,000 decision for you right now on this call. It's a $297 decision for you. And it will cost you more. And we listen to our middle-class friends, bless their souls, lovely people. And we listen to them. In 2013, I would still be broke because I would have quit network marketing. Because my belief in myself, and my belief in the network marketing profession, I didn't know it, was not strong enough to carry me through the next 2 years. I needed that. And so I want to implore all of you, if you're serious about being a 6-figure income earner, a 7-figure income earner with FreeBay, there's no better time to attend this GoPro because it's at the same time as we are launching our new company. And you've got a decision to make whether you want to be at the forefront of that or whether you want to watch it happen. And I'll end off with this and pass over to you, Nitsha. I can't promise that everyone who attends a GoPro event will be a big earner. I can't promise that. But I will promise you one thing. The big earners all come from the people who go to GoPro. And that's been my experience in my team over the last 7 years of GoPro attendance. My top income earners always come from that group, year after year after year. How badly do you want to expand your brain, your thinking? How quickly? Think bigger, faster. How quickly do you want to think bigger, faster? And how quickly do you want to be one of the FreeBay top earners? You need to be there. It's over to you.
Absolutely exceptional. Andrew, I love that story when you tell that story. And, I want to piggyback on a couple of things. And congratulations, Andrew, your perseverance and just, the fact that you stood up and did the thing, even without really knowing how it was going to, but you committed and you did it, is one of the main reasons why you are where you are today. Guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let me add, please, a couple of additional points to this. As you can see, I'm sporting my new virtual background, everybody. You're going to see me with this virtual background between now and December 11th, 12th, and 13th. I also have a personal story about my journey in network marketing, and because of the teachings and the trainings of Eric Worre, I have to say I am where I am today. But how many of you got inspired listening to Andrew? I remember hearing Eric Worre himself on stage one time, and he was speaking about his mentor, one of his mentors, Jim Rohn, the late, great Jim Rohn. Everybody has a Jim Rohn quote, right? One of our favorite ones. Well, I remember, Eric talking about the importance of going to events, and that's going to tie into my story. But, he laid it in a way, where he brought Jim Rohn in, and he said, I learned about the power of events through Jim Rohn. So listening to Andrew tell his story, saying how it was because of GoPro, it was because of him getting there, even not knowing how he was going to get there, making the sacrifices to get there, and then taking his team there. That's why he is where he is today. So, quoting Jim Rohn, millions of people come to an event to learn how to become a millionaire. And the millionaire gets on stage and says, I started my journey with this book. Funny enough, only a few people get the book. Why is that? Why is that after an event that millions of people show up to learn how to become a millionaire. They hear from the millionaire. The millionaire says, this is what I did. And yet very few leave that event and do what that millionaire says he or she did. Isn't that an interesting thing? Yeah. One thing I've learned, everyone, about network marketing, and I am an advocate of network marketing. And if there's anything that I could say to you guys here, I am overjoyed. I'm thrilled and I'm so proud that our company, FreeBay, is locking arms with Eric Worre, where we get to bring our community to learn from the #1 network marketing teacher in the world. In the world. You've heard from a millionaire today. He's told you what he did. You're hearing from another one right now. And I'm telling you, I was in a former downline of Eric Worre way back in the early 90s, way back in the early 90s. And I had no clue about what network marketing really was. I was excited about the product. It was a 24-hour success channel. And I was so excited about that, because I've always been a positive, optimistic kind of a person. I was the black sheep of the family. My family's, very critical, kind of always looking at, the glass half empty. And here I was, totally the different one. And I love the idea of a 24-hour success channel. And that's how I got introduced to network marketing. And it was through Eric Worre and his partner at the time, Jeff Olson. Well, changes happen in the industry, changes happen to all companies, and that company kind of dissolved, but the base of that company moved to another company. And Eric Worre became the executive vice president of that company, and that company is still around today. It was through Eric Worre's, mentoring of that field that company became one of the top companies on the New York Stock Exchange today, and it's called Legal Shield. I met the great Brian Cromley through that company. Back then it was called Prepaid Legal. So myself, Brian Cromley, we were taught by Eric Worre. And I learned the importance about events. And it was that company that I was able to make my first real move. You see, prior to really plugging in and learning from the pros, learning from Eric, I was just kind of doing things. I was out there all excited. How many of you relate? Excited, showing up, doing what I thought, was working, throwing up on everybody, this is such a great company. This is what we're doing. Da, da, da. And you know what? I have to say, my excitement rubbed off on people. I was able to bring people in, but my problem was I could not duplicate. For the life of me, I could not get my team to do anything. And it was, Eric who kept saying, you got to go to events. You got to get to the events, the events change your life. And I had left a business. I since the age of 18, I was an entrepreneur. I started in the restaurant industry. By the time I was 25, I owned 5 restaurants, everybody. So I've been an entrepreneur from a very young age. But I loved the idea of network marketing. Do you want to know why? Because in the traditional business world, and this is why I'm an ambassador of this industry, anybody who puts down or is embarrassed to say it's network marketing, guys, I need you to understand these points. I've been a traditional business owner. I've made a lot of money as a restaurant owner. And you know what? I wouldn't have that life back if you paid me. Because that's a life that is filled with stress. When you have overhead, when you've got loans, when you've got employees, when you've got competition that wouldn't dare tell you their secrets. You got a new competitor opening up across the street that happens to get twice the amount of people in the door. You walk across the street to try to ask them, what are you doing to get twice the people in the door? Do you think they're going to give away their secrets? No. In the traditional business world, you are alone. You got to go pay to learn some skills. You got to pay to stay in front of the curve. And that's why a lot of people go out of business. because they don't keep up their skills. They don't keep up learning. What are the competitors doing? You know why I love this industry? One, because you don't need to take out loans to start. The cost of entry, that's actually happens to be one of the reasons why people don't take this as seriously as they should. Oh, what's a few $100s? Oh, what's a few $1,000s for that matter? To start a business that can earn you millions of dollars a year, that can set you free. What about the overhead? What kind of an overhead do we have operating our business from our phone? Is there an overhead? Very, very little. Employees, none. What are the secrets? What do people do to become successful? That's the difference maker, everybody. You have people all around you. You have Andrew Eaton here today, a 7-figure earner in this industry, telling you what he did to make 7 figures. The question is, are you going to do it? Yeah? I don't want to take up too much time because I have a challenge for the 4 Musketeers today, but I want to say this, okay? We have an opportunity as a community, guys, to take tens, hundreds of thousands of people to go pro. That's what excites me. To know the level of this community after December 11th, 12th, and 13th. We are going to blow the roof off of this opportunity. Because anybody and everybody can go. Now, there is a special promotion now where the 297 ticket, you get $1,982 worth of value. Some of you are wondering, well, what's the difference? I can win a ticket. Why should I buy one if I can win one? I'm going to tell you why. Because the 297 promotional ticket, you get the ticket, yes, but you get 6 of Eric Worre's most powerful trainings. 7 skills to becoming a network marketing pro. Skill number 4, the art of following up. Ask Brian Cromley why he's in this business today, because I followed up with him for 17 years because of the teachings of Eric Worre and what I learned in those 7 steps. Recruit 20 people in 30 days. The biggest. Some people think, oh, you got to work crazy all the time when you're a network marketer. Let me tell you this. If you put together 90 days of all out massive action and you follow sponsor 20 and 30 and follow that up by another 60 days of all out massive action, you may never have to look back in your life again. I've done it. I'm living proof. If I can do it, so can you. So we need the 297 ticket. I just bought mine, by the way, 4 Musketeers. I just bought my ticket before I came because I want that 1,982 value. I want those 6 trainings, even though I've seen them, even though I've done them. I want them again and again and again because I want to be the leader and do the thing that I'm telling other people to do. Guys, you cannot afford not to have those 6 courses, and you want to get them, you want to already be in the know, and then you want to crush this incentive to give away all the tickets that you win. We have 8 weeks between now and Go Pro, everyone. 8 weeks. There's some people on this call, I know it. Tony, I'm going to pass this over to you in a sec. There are some people on this call that between now and Go Pro, they're going to build big teams. They're going to have tens, hundreds of people on their team because of this call right now. They're going to buy the ticket. They're going to take those courses because they're online self-learning. They're going to apply the things. They're going to crush this incentive, and they're going to go and they're going to bring a team of people with them, just like Andrew Eaton has done and why he is where he is today. So that is why we need to absolutely sell out all of these 600 tickets. I understand there's also a little something extra that we get, Freebay, when we sell out of these 600 tickets. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to turn this over to Tony de Gouveia now. And I'm going to say, Tony, two things. Number one, I know you know that when we as a community sell out of these 600 tickets, which we all need for the reasons I just shared, there's something special that we're going to be rewarded with as a community. I want you to tell the community. But also, I'm going to leave you and the other three Musketeers with a little challenge, because I bought my ticket, Tony.
Okay.
And I believe Andrew also bought his ticket before we came on. So I'm going to put it over to you and say, Tony, have you bought your ticket to the GoPro event?
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'll do it now. I promise. I promise. Okay, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I am super blown away, and it's so inspired with your story, Nita and Andrew. And guys, the reason we are going to sell out and we're going to buy all these 600 tickets, this is why. Because then we as a company, we get to have one of our top leaders as a representative, as a speaker on stage with Eric Worre, representing us as a team. So that is huge, guys. That is huge. So, Nita, what I'm going to do is the challenge is on. You've challenged me. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, Nita. You guys can see my screen. Am I right?
Yes, we can see
it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to
Actually, Tony, we could see your screen, but the web browser is not up.
The web browser is not up. What does that mean?
We don't see it. We just see a blank screen.
Oh, you just see a blank screen. Okay, yep. Let me stop this again and share screen. So let's go Google Chrome like this. Okay, can you see that now? The GoPro. You guys can see GoPro? Cool. So guys, I'm embarrassed. I haven't bought my ticket yet. So I apologize. You guys caught me red-handed, but I am going to fix now, because what leaders do is what your team will do. You cannot expect your team to buy tickets. Guys, I'm going to buy my ticket right now. And do not wait. If you're in my team, do not wait for me to call you and ask if you have bought your ticket. So by the time I call you, you better make sure that your ticket is bought, guys. So let's just show each other how simple and easy this is to buy the ticket. So someone will post a link of the GoPro where we are going to buy our ticket, which is especially linked to Freebay. You guys will see that link here. I'm just going to populate everything and then pay information. And then there's a $2.97. I agree, and I'm going to pay with PayPal. I think that's going to be the easiest for me. So you pay either with PayPal or you pay with your credit card or debit card, and it will go through. So Nita, hopefully this is working. And let's do that again. And validate. I hope it's going through. PayPal, there we go, $2.97. And we are going to continue. And hopefully it's done. Done. My ticket is bought. I'm in. Guys, if you are in my team, watch out, because I'm going to be calling you. And do not let me call you and your ticket is not bought yet. Okay, guys, over to the Unfour Musketeers of that. I challenge you guys. Did you guys buy your tickets?
I haven't.
Alfie, you're looking a little smug back there, Alfie. You're sporting that beautiful background.
I haven't bought my ticket there, but you know what? I'm going to set up to do that right now. I'll let Sean and Brian. I guess I'm challenged here, so absolutely going to do it.
I'll go next.
You want to go ahead, Brian? Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm going to set up to do it.
I hadn't got mine either. I was just looking at everything this morning before the call. If I can share the screen, I'll do mine right now too, because I can tell you, I'm in this industry 25 years later because of my first event. I've always wanted to see a GoPro. I'm super excited to go to my own first GoPro event and to be able to do that collectively as a community. So I want to set the tone for everybody also. Let me go to Alfie, you got to let me share the screen.
You should be able to, your co-host.
Okay. It's not sharing. Why is it not sharing? Oh, I see it right there. Now it'll be good. It's not letting me share the screen.
Don't understand why. Try it now.
Okay, let me try it now. Why is it not? There we go. Now we're going to be okay. All right. All right. Complete purchase. I was just getting ready to do it. It's funny that Nitsa called us all out on it. I'm in. I'll see you all at GoPro. I'm super excited. My very first GoPro. Always wanted to go to it. Andrew, your story just like really resonated with me. I'm like absolutely empowered and blown away at it. You inspired me big time, Nitsa. I remember years and years ago hearing and watching him speak, but never. I'm super pumped to go to the first one. So with that being said, to my team, all my personal that I've registered, I'm going to be on the phone with each and every one of you this week. Get ready, because I'm going to challenge you and everybody else also.
Sean, I guess it's over to you, my friend.
I guess it is. But I'll tell you, guys, and I've got a confession to make. I know two things about myself. I've still got a lot to learn, especially in this industry. But I also know a deal when I see one. And I wasn't prepared to let it slide. So I've already gone for it, I'm afraid. I've already gone for it. I went for it on the call. And if I can get my screen shared, I can show you that. If you can see that, this is the share. This is the follow-on screen you get once you're through the purchase process, guys. And I'm absolutely delighted, because there's things Nitsa has shared that I didn't actually understand when I first heard this announced by Eric on Saturday. So appreciate that, Nitsa. And I've moved, because I know a deal when I see one. Thank you very much.
Perfect, you guys. So now I'm doing mine behind the scenes here, but I'm going to stop for a second and just share something here before I share my screen. One thing I want to say, you guys had me at hello during this, I guess that's the saying, you had me at hello. When you talked about GoPro, obviously we're listening to two top earners, so that was just so comforting to know, this is some things that you do. But my mind went in a different direction. I was also a business owner for multiple years, and I know what Nitsa's saying. You know what? We bought ourselves jobs, basically, is what we had, right, Nitsa? We had to show up. It was the stress. When somebody didn't show up, it wasn't like you could just turn the lights off. You had to go there. You had to be there, so you're always that person. So, but my mind went in a different direction, saying, listen, there's so many people out there right now in these times during COVID-19 that businesses are closing. People are losing their jobs. And I said to myself, okay, well, they're talking about GoPro. I go, well, if I empower myself to be the best network marketer I can be, it's going to be that much easier for me to invite and do this business with others. So I looked at it from that angle. When you guys were talking, I said, okay, well, I would want to know. I want to empower myself so that when I am talking to someone else, I'll be able to speak eloquently. I'll be able to speak the way you guys speak to build your teams. And I think that's massive. I know that network marketing for me is brand new. I started with our previous company. Sorry, let me stop sharing this person's screen. And it's brand new for me, and I've done. I'm now making way more money doing this business than I was with my two franchises. So it's incredible. And if I could take myself by education from this level to the one level that you guys are talking about, I'm absolutely going to do it. So while I was talking, I'm behind the scenes. Let me see if I've got this all set up now. Hopefully I have. Is it this one? Oh, no, hold on, guys. Sorry. It's hard to do it while I'm on. There we go. It's not coming up.
Alfie, while you're sharing the screen, I just wanted to say that was really what you just said. It's the attitude that you have developed, and you're a phenomenal marketer, network marketer. Guys, it's no secret that this industry has developed the most self-made people in the world. It's this industry right here. And the GoPro event is an ambassador of that. So, you know what I have to say, guys, is, you know, hearing from everybody, watching the Four Musketeers taking the lead here. Look, it's not about earning that million, earning all that money. It's about what or who you will become, okay, as you get there. That's the journey. And that, no lottery ticket is gonna do that for any of us. And I say this with all due respect as well, because we're in the crypto space and we've got some phenomenal opportunities to do very well with our crypto. But even no crypto can make us and give us the skills that we use, not just in business, but in life. So go to the event, become that next millionaire, not for the $1 million, but who you will become in pursuit of it. Alfie, back over to you.
Perfect, Nita. And you know what? It also gets to think there's so many continuing education things that are happening for, you know, people in the medical field, people who are dentistry, all these things, they have their continuing to stay ahead of all the changes. GoPro gives us that opportunity to catch up and see where the network marketing field is going. So if you want to empower yourself, you have to go to these things. So here's my screen, guys, just following along. Can you see it now? Is it good? Okay, so I'll do the same thing. Tony checking out with PayPal too, and I never did this one before. I've only used my PayPal once or twice. Log in. And there's the 297. I will hit continue. And I should be good to go as well as Tony here. I don't see there be any issues. I hope not. And there we go, guys. I'm good. So I am now a GoPro goer, and I'm happy. Thanks for putting us out there. Thanks for sharing, Nitsa and Andrew. I really admire both you guys and your leadership and all your stories. So really, really good. And I thank you for coming on our call, and I welcome you guys anytime to the open mic session. We got 1,000 people tuning in, and I'm thinking we're changing a lot of lives just by them sharing with their teams. So that's empowering in itself. Is there anything the Musketeers want to ask to our two guests before we move on with the call?
We're all good. I think we pressed for time, Alfie, so let's move on to the different stuff that we have to do today.
Awesome. So again, thank you guys very, very much for sharing. We appreciate and love you very much, and we will definitely see you at the GoPro event. Thank you for sharing and taking your time with all of us.